All right, guys. So in woke news today, right? I mean, it seems like this is every day. Academia takes it up to another level. They kick it up to another level as Columbia University to offer 6 graduation ceremonies segregated by race, sexuality, and income level. Okay? Whew. This sounds like a headline from the 1920s Jim Crow era. Okay, now somebody tell me if I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong about this, somebody tell me. Does this headline not sound like a headline from the segregation era of the United States? Okay, what are we doing here? Right? What are we doing? I thought we were trying to get away from this, but it seems like the woke revolutionary academics want to rewind the clock back. Okay, I thought they were supposed to be progressing, right? But it seems that they are, in fact, regressive. So let's take a look here. Maybe the details will help clear some things up. Columbia University is set to offer 6 different graduation ceremonies segregated by race, sexuality, and income level in a move curiously touted by Ivy League school as, quote, multicultural, a term usually describing the mixture of many cultural and ethnic groups within a given community. Details about the virtual ceremonies were shared in an announcement on the prestigious New York University's website. The ceremonies, which will be hosted in addition to a main university-wide ceremony, are available to seniors in Columbia College, Columbia Engineering, General Studies, and Barnard College, the university's all-women sister college. Okay, so they're going to be holding these other ceremonies in addition to their main ceremony, which I would assume is not segregated. Quote, complementing our school and university-wide ceremonies, these events provide a more intimate setting for students and guests to gather, incorporate meaningful cultural traditions, and celebrate the specific contributions and achievements of their communities, the announcement reads. The announcement then lists the schedule and description for the graduation events. Included on the list are separate ceremonies for Native, LGBTQIA+, Latinx, and first generation and or low income students, in addition to ceremonies for Asian and Black students. So as you can see here, here are the dates and times, okay, for this type of graduation. Graduating students have until Sunday to sign up in order to secure their multicultural graduation gift, a stall, tonsil, pen, or other gift, and until Wednesday, March 31st, in order to be listed on the website and at the ceremonies. Though it is unclear when precisely the ceremonies were first announced, the news was reportedly first brought to the light earlier this month by Mercy Muroki, a senior researcher at Central for Social Justice and graduate student at the University of Oxford studying social policy. In a tweet, Muroki said, quote, racially and sexually segregated graduation ceremonies, one of the best universities in the world, 2021. If you want to know what going backwards looks like, this is it. Oof. Oof. So this is not one of the first times that these schools have hosted segregated ceremonies, right? And, you know, when I was at UNC, Chapel Hill, we had segregated ceremonies, but they were segregated by major, right? They were segregated by what you actually went to school for, which is your major, to study, to learn, okay? That's what it was segregated by. It wasn't segregated by race, right? It wasn't segregated by sex. It wasn't segregated by income level. I mean, guys, can you imagine showing up to the low income graduation? Like, imagine everybody know your income status just because you showed up to this graduation. You showed up to this graduation meaning you low income, right? And I'm also wondering, like, students that sign up for it, is it like, does Columbia identify, okay, you broke. Y'all gonna get invites to the low income graduation. Like, how do they verify that you're actually low income? Okay, and they probably threw that in there to try to be like, well, you know, we got white people that's going to these segregated events, right? But see, they don't have a white graduation ceremony. And guys, that's always my litmus test when it comes to this stuff, okay? I'm the type of person where it's like, I don't necessarily mind groups getting together to specifically target other groups, right? To appeal to certain groups, right? However, the litmus test for me is that, are you okay if white people say, hey, listen, we're going to have an all white graduation? If you're okay with both, then it's like, all right, cool. I don't have anything to say. At the very least, you're consistent. At least you're consistent. Now, again, I might not necessarily fully agree with it because I just think it's more trouble than it's worth. At the very least, you're consistent. Okay. But if you're not willing to have an all-white graduation ceremony, then you should not have any ceremonies that are segregated by race or even gender, sexuality, any of that. You shouldn't. I mean, I'm just saying, what a straight ceremony at, right? Because otherwise, to me, that seems like reverse racism. That seems like you're giving extra privilege to people, right? And that's not equality. These people claim they want equality until they actually get it. Equality means everybody's treated the same. But that's why a lot of people started to talk about equity now, right? They stopped saying equality because it didn't make sense. They want equity. They want more than somebody else. So they're not even trying to say they want to be equal anymore. They want a booster seat. They want stuff like this. They want segregated graduation ceremonies. Like, again, we're in the 1920s where you can only come if you're black or you're Asian or you're LGBTQ or you're some type of minority. Again, guys, I always say I'm a forward-thinking person on this type of subjects, right? If you believe the data, by 2040, 2045, 2050-ish, white folks are going to be the minority in this country. In those years, again, it's not that far off, guys. I mean, it's just 20 years removed. Are we going to have all white graduations again? Because that's going to be interesting. Because the argument is that if you're a minority, if you're underrepresented, then you have to get some type of special treatment. So when white people become the minorities, are they going to get special treatment? You're going to have to. You're going to have to. And then you're going to be sitting here looking like, okay, what was all this woke revolutionary stuff for? When at the end of the day, you're just going to end up having to give a booster seat to white people when they become a minority, right? Are we headed to a point in this country where if you're a minority status, you have to get special treatment? Hey, I wouldn't be surprised even if white people become a minority that they just decide not to make white people minorities. They're like, oh, you still not a minority, even though technically they would be. So, I mean, those are the questions that I got, right? I'm very interested to see with all this stuff happening, how the pendulum is going to swing the other way when the majority now becomes a minority. Are they going to get the same special treatment? Are they going to get a booster seat? Are they going to get affirmative action? Are they going to get special treatment that all these other minority groups are getting right now just because they're minorities? Because, again, there's no all-white graduation here. That's why it's like, I can't get on board with this. There's no logical consistency on any of this stuff. It's just woke nonsense. And again, to me, it's just like we're going backwards. We're regressing. We're not progressing. We're regressing. That's the ironic part about this. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.